Good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Garcia, and this is my husband, Manny Garcia. We wanted to share a story or a testimony with you guys today that we experienced the early part of last year. So I wrote it down into like a story kind of format because I've been sharing this story with a lot of my younger friends and just everybody I kind of come in contact with that I have a personal relationship with, just to give them hope and strength because something that we've experienced this year, it just blew us away. And just knowing that God's love is real, like God is real. And we we know that, we carry that in our heart, but a lot of my friends are not believers. And every time I share this story with them, it just blows them away. And it just, encourages them to just seek God and want to know more about him. So I kind of, like I said, I put this in a story format because I didn't want to miss any details. Kind of nervous being up here. So I'm going to kind of read through it, and then I'm going to have Manny kind of share a little bit too. So I wrote, hello, everyone. Today I'm going to share a testimony with all of you. Hang tight because I want to give all the details of this story because I want to make sure that I get every detail and just show you guys how great and how powerful our God truly is. So we are new homeowners in Goleta, right off of Fairview. We are so excited to buy our first home in 2018 of February. Through the process of getting there, from the beginning, we placed our trust in God to give us the right home in the right area and at the right time. So we were so excited when we first purchased our home. It needed a lot of work done to it. And through that, we had to hire people to do projects with to work on our home. And through that, while we were doing the projects, we just never thought something so awful would happen. We were just on this high of excitement of being new homeowners, doing projects, buying stuff for our home. And we never in our minds had an idea that something or our story would twist so fast and something just would happen. That wouldn't be the exciting part of being new homeowners. So in March of 2018, while having work done to our home, we noticed items were missing. These two items that I'm going to tell you about may seem so materialistic to some people, but behind them, they had so much meaning to us. So, I click. So, my wedding shoes were stolen from our home, as well as a pair of my husband's shoes while having work done to our house. The moment I found out they were gone, I was crushed because of how much sentimental value they had behind them. I lost every hope that I'd ever see my shoes again. But not only were our shoes stolen, but I also lost my peace of being in our own home. That night, I couldn't sleep. I felt a spirit of fear. Walking around my house, I no longer felt safe anymore. I remember that night I laid on my bed and I just looked at my closet and I kept seeing a shadow of somebody just standing there. I just couldn't sleep. I was in tears. I was afraid that this person would come back and just steal other things from us. And most of the time, I'm home alone with my girls, so it was really hard for me to just get home or leave the house when he's not around. And we were still having work done to our home. So during that time, I was looking at everybody very differently. It was hard for me to trust people. I just felt like I lost a lot of, things that I just felt like I just lost a lot of trust just with other people, and even people that were close to us, I was beginning to question. So the next night, I never forgot the words that my 4-year-old prayed when she went to bed. Lola said, "God, please protect us and please bring back my mom's shoes. She's very sad and she misses them." In that moment, my 4-year-old reminded me the kind of God we serve. With the love and prayers from our family, our friends, and our pastors, we just continue to trust God and pray for peace daily. I'll never forget the day I told Pastor Carol what had happened, and I held on to what she had told me. She said, "The enemy has taken from you and has to pay back what he has stolen. You need to stand in faith and remain strong because he won't get away with what he has taken." That day I left service, I felt so strong, and I stood in faith and believed that what was taken from us was going to be given back.
So I think it's been 9 months. It's been 9 months since the shoes had been stolen, and we actually found out. So right after, I actually started going on websites, resale websites, Craigslist, eBay, OfferUp, Let Go, just sitting there searching. And I think I just, one night, I saw how fired up she was. Like, no, we can't give up. We can't give up. So I just sat there one night just going through, and I was like, hey, I think I found him. I think I found the shoes. Like they had the name, the details from the padding she put in the back of the shoes so they won't slip. And I think these are it. And I tried researching, reaching the guy, and he's like, hey, they're already sold. So I knew who it was at the time, but I just didn't have any evidence. So I went to the owner and said, hey, this is the guy who stole the shoes. I have evidence. He's like, well, let me call you back later because I need to talk to, he gets off at work at a certain time. I get a call within 20 minutes of his mom. It says, these shoes were at my house. He still has them. So right away, he's like, come over around 5 o'clock and we'll come over. And the authorities, I said, it's up to you what you want to do. Press charges or just, see if you guys can handle it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to Amanda, see what happens, have peace about it. We were praying. I was like, what should I do? Should I press charges? The kid was only 19 years old. So it was like, he's young. I know we all do stupid things when we're young. So I go there by myself to the house and talk to the parents and the kids. So, hey, I already sold them. I sold the shoes already. The lady's long gone. So I was like, hey, is there any way we can work together? If we can get these shoes back, I will not press charges. I'll shake your hand and walk away like nothing ever happened. He ended up cooperating and helping us get the shoes back or contact the lady who sold them. And from there, the lady came back and was able to coordinate a certain time to where we would actually get them back. But it was a kind of hard process getting it all through there because it was just all God's timing. It was like meeting the right people, the mom actually confirming that it was her son, and the fact that for us to basically say, you know what, we're not going to press charges, we're just going to continue like nothing ever happened. And, that's what I did, and I'll let her continue the story.
I mean, just going off from that too, at that time we did have to work with police, and at that time in Thousand Oaks, I don't know if you guys recall the shooting that was going on, that was happening. So a lot of the police that were here were going out to Thousand Oaks. And, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is just shoes. I mean, the situation in Thousand Oaks is so different. And the cop and I had talked about that, and he said, it is a different situation, but I want to help you. I'm here to help you. And I was so grateful for that because, he did tell me in the beginning it's going to be hard. There's not a lot of people that are here in the office. A lot of us are being called out to Thousand Oaks, and I said, it's totally fine. Whenever you guys are ready, have information, or need my help, like, we could work together. And he was so willing, and I believe that God led us to the right people at the right time to help us, because anybody could have just said, I'll put that off, it's just a pair of shoes. I mean, they need to calm down or whatever. So it was great that we were led to him. So through the process of getting my shoes back, I believe that the only one that can make a way, and who already had our way from the very beginning, was God. I put our trust in him, and I had our friends and family believing with us. Every decision I made, I let God move first. I know a lot of you may listen to this story and kind of laugh because, yes, they are just a pair of shoes. But the shoes weren't the only thing that we gained from all of this. It was our peace of being in our home again, and it was to truly say that if we believe, have faith, and trust in God, he's never going to fall short of what he says he will do. Never underestimate the power of God. He always hears our prayers, even when we don't think he does. God showed up in such a powerful way. He led us to the right people at the right time and led us through the whole process of getting our shoes back. He even then led us to the person who took our shoes, who was willing to pay for Manny's shoes, in which he had sold, and he held on to mine for 9 months and didn't sell them. So he held on to a pair of girl shoes for 9 months and didn't sell them, but he sold Manny's instantly. So it's just, for me, it's just like, wow, how can you hang on to something for 9 months? But I truly believe that was God. Like, what he stole was meant to come back home. So he didn't just get rid of him right away. Like, I believe it was totally a God thing that he held them on for that long. And I was just blown away. And people are blown away when I say 9 months. They're like, 9 months? How? Like, you think you'd want to get rid of them? Like, so I believe now God has given us a story to tell. And I just pray that it encourages everyone to just hold on and trust God in every season that you're in. He's never going to leave you. He's never going to fail you. I'm grateful for his word, because without it, honestly, my family would be lost. And because he is in the center of our home, I truly believe that my family is protected. So, I mean, it was such a huge blessing, and it was probably the biggest story that we tell now about our home and going through the process. And, like I said, it's given us peace to just be back there and know that God has given us this amazing home. Like, we're meant to be there. And, we could trust people. We obviously have to keep our guard up with some things and just be mindful, but we could trust people. And I'm thankful for the mom. I'm a mom. And to have her say, I am willing to help you guys, like, I thanked her for that, because that's a hard thing to do. We have kids. We want to protect our children. But at the same time, she was so willing, knowing he was in the wrong for doing something like that. So we were so thankful for her, and we didn't press charges because I believed in my heart that God had walked us through that process. And I believe that when he was able to talk to the son and we were able to talk to the family, that God gave us that peace, that they did the right thing, and we didn't need to persecute or press charges or do anything along those lines. So we followed God in every step, and we have our shoes back. My girls are so excited because Lola watches Cinderella. She calls them the princess shoes. So it's just so sweet. I mean, just everything that we've gained from this story, God just showed up and really showed us just how strong he is, how great he is. And if we remain faithful, like, he's never going to leave us. So we're thankful. So that's our story. Yeah.